sister who is quite different from me. For one thing, she's shorter, and she has better hair. 4 years younger, she experienced our mother and father as experienced parents, while I was immersed in the guinea pig. She is smarter, she's more knowledgeable about many things, and has way more energy than I. But we look alike. Last summer we were walking through Mars Arboretum, checking out the plantings, when a lady walked towards us, and she exclaimed as she passed by, "You two must be twins." I guess I should have taken that as a compliment, or maybe she should have. But I remember that episode today as we hear the story of the disciple Thomas, because he did indeed have a twin. You don't hear anything about her or him in the gospel accounts. But the fact was apparently important enough to help identify Thomas for readers of John's narrative. So why would that be a thing? Twinness. And who was Thomas, aside from that particularity of birth? Well, think back to the stories of Jesus, who was traveling around healing sick people. He was healing mentally ill children, blind people, those who couldn't walk. And maybe you remember the story about the man who brought his son to Jesus, the one who was having a seizure. The boy was convulsing right there in front of everybody, and he had been suffering from this disease since he was a child. Known by his neighbors, who were certainly curious about how this whole back and forth would pan out between Jesus and the Father. This conversation must have been heard by the crowd, and especially the disciples, who were particularly close by. Surely Thomas was listening carefully to that conversation. I imagine that the declaration of the boy's father stuck with him. "I believe, help my unbelief." The paradox jumps out at us. Doubt, faith. Doubt, faith. Many of us think we have to choose. An honest skeptic, then, would be excluded from the community of the faithful and judged to be wanting, unable to buy in to the truths that are so challenging to common sense. Inquisitions are born out of this, either or. This kind of mindset creates a false dichotomy. A person of integrity will not pretend to have faith if she does not find it possible. A religious person will sign up for faith even when there's a little voice inside saying, "Really?" But I wonder if this doubt would be a good thing. The theologian Frederick Buechner wrote, "Doubts are the ants in the pants of faith. They keep it awake and moving." Thomas was honestly curious. He felt in two ways: wanting to believe that Jesus was alive just because his friend said so, and at the same time, eager for the proof that he would need to commit to this crazy truth. If you feel conflicted about this resurrection business, you are not alone. You have a twin. Like him, you are invited to do 4 things. Be rooted in the search. Be ready to be surprised. Be reconciled to not having the answers. And be willing to trust in the healing energy of God's love and peace. curious or confident, you are part of God's family. Whether curious or confident, you belong. I found a poem this week by the poet Denise who passed away recently. And it's about Thomas. It's as if he were speaking. And the first part of the poem has Thomas recalling the story of the man with the son who was having seizures. But I'm going to read you the second half. So it was that after Golgotha, my spirit in secret lurched in the same convulsed writhings that tore that child before he was healed. And after the empty tomb, when they told me he lived, had spoken to Magdalene, told me that though he had passed through the door like a ghost, he had breathed on them the breath of a living man. Even then, when hope tried with a flutter of wings to lift me, still alone with myself, my heavy cry was the same. Lord, I believe. Help thou mine unbelief. I needed blood to tell me the truth, the touch of blood. Even my sight of the dark crust of it, round the nail holes, didn't trust its beam all the way through to that manifold knot in me that willed to possess all knowledge, refusing to loosen unless that insistence won the battle I fought with life. But when my hand, led by his hand's firm clasp, entered the unhealed wound, my fingers encountering ripped bone and pulsing heat, what I felt was not scalding pain, shame from my obstinate deed, but light. Light streaming into me, over me, filling the room as if I had lived till then in a cold cave, and now coming forth for the first time, the knot that found me unraveled. I witnessed all things quicken to color, to form. My question, not answered, but given